evening. Welcome back to Tuesday Night In with Forces Equine. Tonight we're looking forward to speaking to Philippa Ratton, who I'm going to try and connect with now. So bear with. Hi everyone that's joining. Right, Philippa, you're waving. Philippa, are you going to join? There she is.
Hello. Hello. We've passed the first hurdle.
Well, we have. It's really, really cool. Oh, I think your mum's on. Is that Julie Magical?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's her.
Hi, Devon.
Probably a lot nicer.
Oh, bless her. Well, I suppose the question is today is, do we want to talk about you or should we talk about Meghan and Harry? Joking.
Oh, I know. Oh, Piers has just left this morning, hasn't he?
Oh, yes, he's just done a national workout. Yeah.
That's the new breaking news at the minute.
I know. Well, it's a bit, yeah. Oh, bless him, bless him. Hey ho. So let's talk about something positive.
Okay.
So, if anyone doesn't know who you are, which lots of our members do, and I've had the pleasure of meeting you, which is all cool, tell us about yourself.
Okay, for anyone that hasn't met me, I'm Philippa, 33. I'm a serving police officer. So I've been in the police 12 years now. I've got 3 horses that I keep on a livery about half an hour from my house. I show jump to 140 level at the minute and try and break them and produce them myself, really. Live with my partner, who's not horsey, but unfortunately gets dragged into it. Yeah, that's it. I do work and horses. That's my 2 things, really.
So your partner's Glenn, and I get to talk to you in the evening when he's watching football.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Sky Sports News. Yeah. I've got my cat running.
Well, how's it been in lockdown for you? Because you love getting out and about.
In terms of work and horses, it's still the everyday normality. It's just more preparing for nothing at the minute. Sort of trying to keep the horses fit enough, but not too fit to go nowhere, and give them enough of a break that if I was to start another full season, they've had a good enough rest. But in the same sense, they've got to be fit enough to say, as soon as lockdown's been given the go-ahead, we're ready to go to jump next week. So it's been a bit difficult trying to work that out. But yeah, just trying to tick them over and keep it a bit fun and varied so they're enthusiastic when they go out, hopefully, touch wood. Fingers crossed.
You put your entries in. Is it for Hickstead? Did I see on Facebook when I'm like?
No, Hickstead's not opened yet, but I've entered for quite a few bits recently, but everywhere's getting quite booked up because everybody's on the same wavelength. They want to book before. Yeah, so I've been quite organised, touch wood. So I've just got to wait. There's certain ones that haven't opened their entries yet, so I'm just waiting for those. But the ones I can enter, I have, and sorted my leave out and stuff like that from work. So yeah, hopefully I am pretty organised. I think.
Have you entered Windsor yet, or is Windsor not open?
It's not opened yet. I think they've moved the date to July now rather than May. So yeah, so it'll be a matter of entering the ballot again on that one and hoping we get a place, really.
Oh well, if they do the services team jumping and they let us come back, then
yeah, hopefully I've got time off, so I've just got to get through the ballot, which is the hardest bit.
Yeah.
But I've been quite lucky the last few years, so hopefully we can jump there again. So.
I think that's the hardest thing this year is because everyone missed out last year, which is no fault of anybody. It's just everybody wants to go back to these lovely big shows. I don't know how it's going to be. It's going to be really weird, I think. Yeah. But good as well.
Yeah, we managed to do a few when it eased up last time. We managed to do a few with some restrictions, with masks and stuff like that. And I think it was only 5 in the warm up. Before your class and social distance. That was a little bit different, but actually did work out quite well for me because they had warm-up stewards that were doing the fences.
Yeah.
And when I go on my own, I haven't got anybody on the ground, so I was actually quite thankful that there's somebody in the warm-up that could do fences for me. So if that continues, that will be a bonus.
Well, it's weird because the last time I competed at Windsor doing the warm-up for the services team jumping was in 2008, and it was just carnage. There was people everywhere. So I think 5 in the warm-up would be actually really
yeah. Even that, the only thing I did struggle with that was the last show we went to, and there was only 5 in the warm-up, It was sort of October time, so I wasn't anywhere outside to warm up. And by the time you got in the warm up, you had 4. Then they were sending 1 down, so you only really had 3. I don't do loads of warm up or anything like that, but 3 for my classes was a bit tight in terms of time, and obviously to get the horses warmed up properly. So hopefully they'll bear that in mind. If they're sending a few down, they'll still allow you in, to give you a bit more preparation. But yeah, that was the only thing I really came across.
Yeah, it's really hard, isn't it? Because they're trying to make it so you all can get out.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just trying to make it work, I guess. It's hard at your end. It's hard at the organisers' end. It's been a strange one.
Yeah, I think when we are allowed, I think anyone will do everything they can to keep it going. So hopefully everyone's sensible and on board, because then it will keep going even longer, won't it? So
exactly. I think your key word in that statement is sensible.
Yeah, get back to some more normality, hopefully. Yeah, with any luck.
Yeah, very true. So, for everybody that doesn't understand how someone at your caliber has got involved with Horses Equine, why did you?
What was it? 3 years now?
It's got to be.
I think it was 2018. I think I've joined. Yeah. I had a friend that competed sort of a bit of eventing, and she was in the army, and she retired from the army, and we were just chatting one day, and she basically just said there must be something out there for 40s people that compete. And I said, I have no idea. So we had a bit of a conversation, and she's really sort of proactive and things like that. So she sent me the link actually and found you guys online. So when I was driving I think Mum was driving and I was in the passenger seat in the lorry. So I was talking to Mum and we just looked it up online, and I was just talking through the website. And to be honest, I didn't really have a clue what I was doing. So I messaged just through Facebook, I think, and to the members team. I think it might have even been Jan that replied, and just sort of said, what do you guys do? And she was really, really helpful, and like messaged back and was really engaging. And I thought, well, the membership was really good value for money. So I just thought, I'm not going to lose anything if I do apply for a year. I might get something out of it and meet some new people. So yeah, I literally had no idea. Even when I was doing the results the first few months, I kept messaging going, I don't know if I'm doing this right, but yeah. And then obviously I looked online, there was a few discounts and stuff like that, which is obviously everyone's always in for a bargain. So yeah, so I just thought I'll do it for a year, see what comes and see what it's like. And yeah, 3 years later, here we are.
Go.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, it's a little bit different, you know, to the normal circle of British show jumping and the pressure of it and everything like that. It's quite nice to step out of that circle every now and again. Yeah, like you meet completely different people doing it for different reasons, but people that understand why you're walking around like a zombie half the time. Yeah, so it's quite nice to people that aren't doing it full time, that are just doing it for the enjoyment. So yeah, that's why I wanted to keep it a bit fun and sort of take the pressure off a little bit.
Well, yeah. I think the first time I met you, you turned up to Hickstead, but you were already at Hickstead.
In the pouring rain for the team. Yeah. Yeah, even that. Yeah, I think that was my first time in uniform actually.
I think it was.
And then I think someone pulled out the team, so I entered the last, what was it? I think it was 105 or something, wasn't it? And had no idea who anyone was or anything like that. In the pouring rain. But yeah, I think that was the first one. Yeah. We were all hoping to meet up for a bit of a chat, but the rain sort of stopped it.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's good to sit around and have a chat when it's sunny, glass of prosecco or whatever it is. But when it's raining, it's just like, yeah, good to see you, bye.
Yeah, it was awful. Yeah. So yeah, that was probably the first Forces event that I competed in, I would say. Yeah.
And I think my first harebrained moment of watching you, as in not scary, just was, I can't remember if it was the privilege of coming to see you at Windsor in uniform.
Windsor, yeah.
Which was fab. And I think the only way I could describe Vogue is she's like a black version of Milton. She's so, you know, like Milton used to jump it, and she's so careful, but seems to take so much time in the air, but like with grace, like Milton.
Yeah,
she's so amazing to watch. But I can't remember if that was, I'm sure I did Windsor with you in the May, and then you came and did the Two French Challenge.
Yeah, in the October.
Yeah, watching you do the Two French Challenge, I was like literally with Rachel Hotbar going, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah, that was that was my first leg. That was my first Equine Games. That one. Yeah.
That was amazing to watch. It was like, you know, well, even our grassroots rider, who's PC Julie Bradshaw, when she won it at 1:35 for the grassroots section, but you and Charlotte, you weren't giving up. It was unreal to watch. It was absolutely.
Yeah, I have to be honest, when we went to the Feg, again that weekend, my weekends off are quite rare, but I said to Mum, oh, there's no other shows on, should we go and see what it's about, obviously meet some new people, so we trucked up there, had no expectations, no idea, and I think I had all 3 entered in the 2 fence that weekend, but the stallion pulled the shoe off, so I only got, yeah, so luckily, because obviously the other 2 went quite high and I was having to jump off one, Mum hold the other one.
Yeah, your mum was there in the background.
That's it, it was like that, one on each side, yeah. So luckily the stallion pulled a shoe and I had 2 in it in the end.
Yeah, no, that was quite a nail-biting thing to watch. But you've got a non-horsey person watching who's Nell Shorts is photography.
She's horsey, she's a police officer.
Oh, she's saying, blimey, Philippa, you've even got some non-horsey lot watching.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, a lot of them are work people. Gabby's work as well, and horsey. Yeah, and Creative Equine's lady in my yard that runs a PR company for equestrian. So yeah.
Oh look, so you've got horsey work people, so Ken Police, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get them involved in FE, and we can have a Ken Police team.
I know.
That's saying www.fullsetequine.com.
Yeah, Nell does dressage. I think Gabby loans one. But yeah, Nell's got really good eye for photography. Actually, she has some lovely images and stuff. So yeah, mainly on horses. So it's really nice.
Oh, she'll have to come up and join us at Feg.
And then you've got Jenna. Hi, Jenna.
Oh yeah, Jenna is like your biggest fan, I think.
Yeah,
she loves Philippa Ratton.
But yeah, no, the Feg thing was great fun. Even with that, like we turned up, obviously we hadn't been to the venue before or anything like that. And we wandered around, and I think I'd only obviously met you the once, hadn't I, before. But everyone was like really welcoming, you know, they want to come over and talk about your horses and what you're doing, and you don't, it's just a different atmosphere. You don't really get that at other shows. It's a bit more standoffy, I would say. But yeah, everyone's cheering you on, and even though they never met you before, it just feels like you've known everyone for ages.
But that's how it should be. You're all from the same sort of like background, and you know, even like the military, it's all the same background. Everybody understands that you can't drop everything and go off and do what you love, which is, although most people do love their job, but can't go off and do their passion, I guess is probably the best way to do it. But you know, I have spoken to a few of you when you do a night shift and you go to sleep for 2 hours in a lorry and the next minute you're out competing. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, one of the ones, I do that quite well. I was doing that quite a lot before lockdown. One of Windsor was the worst one, I think. I think I finished at 2 in the morning from a late shift, and I had to leave at 4 for Windsor because it's such an early start at Windsor. Yeah. So I went to the yard and I slept in the my tack container in a horse rug for an hour. Then kitted up and went. So I kind of smelt very nice, but I got there on time and I didn't want to miss anything. I didn't want to miss the course walks. I think the course walks at like 7:30. Yeah. So you have to get there really, really early and you catch all the traffic. So yeah, I had an hour in the tack container on the floor and then trucked up there. So.
Well, you'll hate it if you do the services team jumping because the course walk is way before that. It's about 6:30.
Oh, is it? Oh, God.
Then the class kicks off at 7:30.
Mm. So, yeah, we stay, depending what day it is. If we stay overnight, that's fine. Yeah. But the first day, that might be a bit of an early one.
I think you have to send a shout out to Kim and the kids.
Yeah, Kim's my best mate and my biggest sister. So she's literally one of the best people I know. She's got 2 little kids. She came to the yard today actually to help me with something. She used to ride. Yeah,
I know that at Windsor.
Yes. Yeah, she used to ride and compete up to about 1:30 with her horse. Oh, wow. And then obviously kids took over. So yeah, it was a family affair, but I think I'm the only one standing now, I think.
Oh, bless her. So Mum used to compete?
Yeah, Mum was an instructor back in the day. Yeah. So she taught all 3 of us. So we're sort of home taught in that sense. We haven't had any proper training or anything. Yeah. And she used to have her own horses and was always quite fond of the black horse. So that's why I ended up having the gang.
Horses.
Yeah, but I ended up with the gang I've got now. Yeah, and then she did it until she had kids. And then we started riding. I think I was about 3 when we started riding. And then we got our first pony on Christmas Day when I was 4, and we walked through the house in a residential estate, through the house into the back garden. Yeah, and then since that day it went all a bit crazy, really. I think one pony turned into 7, and then
was the pony called Jasper?
Yes, yeah.
Thanks, Amy, for that heads up.
Yeah, he had a bit of a fan club. He was a very, very good little pony. But even him, he was, I think he was only 3.5 when Mum bought him. So she bought like a just-backed pony for her 3 young toddler kids. And basically we had to sort of learn as we went. So, yeah, so that's how it all started.
But you come from a sort of like services background, because Mum was attached to the prison service, wasn't she?
Yeah, Mum, Mum was in the prison service, but I think she was actually in the prison service after I joined the police, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
She obviously, did she tell me she was a chef?
Yeah. So she does all the cooking and BQs and stuff for the prisoners. But yeah, she sort of finished probably 2.5 years ago now, and then gone down to Devon and set up her own business. So yeah.
It's turned into a farm, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a menagerie. I think they've got goats, pigs, sheep, ducks, anything you can think of.
And they're enjoying it down there?
Yeah. We haven't been down there yet. I've just spoke to her today, actually. I'm going to take the horses down in July. So she needs to make room for my 2. But I think at the moment her stables are full with small animals. So she's always wanted stables at home. But now she's got her stables at home, but her horses somewhere else.
Yeah, but you stayed in Kent, so it's your fault.
yeah, I know.
I'm sure she'll make room for you and the babies.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that should be good.
Oh, bless her. Well, I'm glad she's all right. So tell everybody, what's your greatest achievement been so far? Doesn't have to be an FE one. It could be all about you.
So I don't know, there's been various ones for different reasons, if that makes sense. Just Vogue's probably my biggest overall achievement of my life. I love her to death.
I'd never have known.
No, everything she does, she's just amazing. I just love her to death. But it's probably she's literally brought me to tears on a few occasions when I've been riding. The first one was probably the newcomer second rounds when she was 6, which was 4 years ago now. We literally entered the second round, never done it before, just to give it a stab. And we walked the course, and I walked it with one of my friends, and Mum never walked the course. She was really superstitious. Yeah. So my friend walked it with me, and I walked around, and I said, if I have 2 down and I come out the other end, I'll be really happy with that. And out of about 125, mind you, these are mostly professional people, I think there was like 20 clears. And we ended up getting through to the 3rd round, and it was 145 in the jump off as a 6-year-old. And obviously I was a nobody, and I am a nobody. Yeah, so I didn't look at the course.
Special to us. You're not a nobody.
Yeah, didn't look at the jump off, didn't look at the height of it or anything, because I think I would have just not gone in. And our friends were there, who were really, really supportive, and we ended up coming 6th in that. That was probably the first time I knew she was really special. Oh, it makes me sad.
No, it's sad. I think she, like I said to you, I've watched her, and it's funny because I've just done a new FEG video and you're in it, and I just watch her jump with you. And like I said, I remember Milton, and he seemed to be in the air forever, and that's like her.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that.
It's so graceful, and yeah, I'd hit the deck, but you're a great partnership. Yeah,
no, so that's probably the first one, because I realised I was on a horse of a lifetime. Then it's probably Hoyes has obviously got to be up there. I never thought in a million years.
Jenna said that. Jenna went, oh,
yeah, never thought in a million years we'd end up there. And I think it was more the lead up to that. You know, 6 months before I was in hospital after my accident, and from my hospital bed, I didn't think I would be competing for months, and I'd miss out on the season. But actually, I had the best season ever. Ended up qualifying, so that's got to be definitely up there. Well, and more than qualifying.
We were very proud, considering you were quite new to the organisation.
Yeah, I remember ringing you, because that was the day. Charlotte won at the Longines Tour, didn't she? She won at Global Tours that day, and I rang, and you lot. Yeah, because I
you
was
said
screaming
you were
down.
going. Yeah, you said you were going to Hoy's, and then it was
Yeah,
Jenna that said to me, right, me and her mum, like, well, not me and her mum, her and her mum, are going to go to Hoy's. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, because Philip is going to be there. I was like, yep, we're on it. So we all bundled to poor old Joe Hastings' house, not poor old, but Joe Hastings' house, and all turned up really early, and it was amazing. It was amazing to see you in uniform,
yeah.
and you did so well, and you did yourself proud.
Yeah,
And
so
yeah,
that's definitely got to be up there. Like I said, as a kid, I never thought I'd be at Hoy's ever.
well, it's like
Um,
children. You watch Hoy's, and it's like,
yeah,
oh, such a big thing, and you know, it's
yeah. So
amazing
that
to
was,
get there.
I think there was, yeah. So there's only top 14 in the country in my league in that sense ended up there.
Mhm.
So that's got to be one. Um, the Horse and Hounds Award was really special, actually. The nomination for that,
We won't
I was
talk
really,
about the
really glad
money.
about it. Yeah. So that was really special. So there's been loads, to be honest. I can't, I'm very, very lucky in that sense.
Yeah, Horse and Hound nominations for you were really good. It was very, very hard, I think, from FIA's point of view, to have both two of our forces equine
Yeah,
members in the top
yeah.
four in the same thing. It was like, God, could they not split it?
Well, it's lucky.
So, yeah, but very proud moment to see you both up
Yeah,
there, and both so well deserved. It was amazing.
yeah. So that
Um,
was really good.
yeah, and it was yeah, first Horse and Hound Awards when we all went together. That was great until I hurt my head.
I
But
did that, and that's the thing with Effie. I was thinking about it today. I was like, oh, what are my highlights? And actually, we had that really good night at the Horse and Hound Awards for you guys.
yeah,
And even that, I think I shared a room with Emma Joe.
yeah, she's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and had never met really you guys that much before that, and we had a great night. That was really good, and obviously then it's nice to get dressed up and have a
Yes.
social side of it away from the horses, which was the same with the awards as well up at
Oh
Arena.
yeah, the awards was
Yeah,
brilliant. You guys came on, mass. There was
yeah,
loads of you. It was brilliant.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, things like that. That's all. I think that's all a good thing away
Well,
from the horses.
JJ Wills, who I believe is Jill Williams, so Daisy Williams' mum, would like to know, what department of the police are you in?
So I did 11 years on response. So that would just be your 999 calls, answering literally everything. And then I became a traffic officer about a year ago. So yeah, really, really good. Yeah, so we basically, it's not what everyone thinks a trafficker is necessarily. We deal with fatalities on the motorway, criminals using the road network. So it can literally be anything. You get all your fast pursuits and all your good driving and all your Gucci courses. So yeah, it's really, really fun. Yeah.
I think the best picture you showed me of that is when everyone was trying to get to the dock, to get out of the UK.
Yeah.
With the Brexit stuff going on and France shutting their borders, and it was just like this massive car park, and as you just
Oh no.
no traffic,
Yeah,
just cut along.
never seen anything like it. No. So that was all over Christmas. Yeah. So all I saw was lorry for weeks. But yeah, no, it's really, really good. Yeah, enjoying it.
Well, Jenna's just said it was amazing to come and support you at Hoy's. I love going to see our members out at events. Charlotte at GCT, Leslie Wheatley and Sally Ann at Berry Farm, to name a few as well. And we are very proud. And like we say, everyone doesn't have to be like up there, but anyone that gets to go and I get really emotional when I see you all go out in your uniform. And you don't even have to be wearing FE stuff. It's just to go out, because I know how the British public this year and next year is going to be even more so ever, because you do so much anyway. But this year,
Windsor was really nice because the crowd's so close at Windsor. So you're going round and you can actually, people clap after every fence when you're in uniform, basically.
Well.
Yeah, and then if you have a fence down, you literally hear everyone go, oh, it's really they're really disappointed. And you come out the ring, and I remember a little girl came up to me in the warm-up, and she was going, is this a police horse? Are you working today? And all that sort of stuff. So it's really good for the public to see, I think.
Yeah, but it must be good for you, because I remember someone saying to me years ago, it was a chief constable from one of the police forces, and he said it's really nice to see the police in a different light, rather than it's the police, rah, rah, rah. So it's very good, and I remember going down to Army Navy Rugby, and we always go and talk to police horses. For some reason they always bite me, which is hilarious. But yeah, it is nice, and I just think it's a good buzz, and it's good to see you all out in uniform. And like you just said, I remember going to the second GCT where Charlotte won, and everyone would get up and go, yes, well done to someone winning. But when she won and they did the national anthem, the whole place erupted. But
yeah,
you know, I think they were just wow.
You warm up with like all the professionals, and that people know them by name, but it makes you a bit more sort of familiar on a personal level, I think, for the crowd that don't know you. Because they'll obviously cheer you on because of what you do. So it just makes it a bit more. I think the crowd really do get behind you when you wear a uniform. Well, so it's a little bit daunting, but you always feel like the pressure's on.
I think the only time I can say personally as a show jumper, not at your level, but I felt that is when we went down to Hickstead, and that would be 2015, just after I broke my back. And I was warming up next to Jeff Billington and John Whittaker. So, you know, like it's the arena polo warm up where it's got the bar that looks over it. So we're all in there, and you've got them sort of like warming up in that section of it, and then us here, and there's us going over like our crossbows and stuff, and they're going over something massive, and you could just hear people talking to them. And to me, that was just like, wow, you know, it's just like, I feel really important. And then the only other time was Scope. When we used to go to Scope, when it was at Stafford, you had like the international arena, because they had the FEI sort of classes there. And then we had our arena next door, which was grand, but you could just hear, and here goes such and such Whittaker, or here goes such and such whoever. And it was just like, oh my God. So I suppose if anyone that's not into horses, it's like footballers, you've got like, I don't know, a top footballer there.
Yeah, you know the name,
It does make you feel special. Yeah,
definitely, yeah.
Well, our friend from Events Through the Lens has popped up. Hello. Few of our people that support you guys. So go on then, what's your future goal within your show jumping career? And it's got to be feg.
Okay, so be feg. So I've got to sort feg out. So feg's definitely up there. There's been I was thinking about it. It's really hard, you know, like I've achieved more than I ever thought I ever would. You know, my goalposts keep moving all the time. And Mum keeps going, when are you going to be like satisfied? And I was like, I don't know, I'll just keep going. You know, initially it was just to jump a few young horse classes, have a couple of nice horses.
Can I just stop you? Your roommate's just popped up. Emma Jo, go on, carry on.
Oh, hi. So initially it was just that, and then it was to jump a couple of foxes, then it was to jump a 130, then it was to jump a 140, and it just keeps moving really. But there's a couple of things left that I don't know whether I will achieve or not, but
are you going to say it, or are you worried because you'll jinx it?
No. I'd love to do an area trial.
Okay.
So they're 150. I've entered one, which is a bit optimistic, but whether I actually jump it, I don't know.
Hey, I've seen you 165, you'd be fine.
I know.
I believe in you.
Yeah. So I'd love to do an area trial. I'd love to do a world ranking class. And I know the horse I've got now is the horse if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it on her.
So Vogue, who for anyone that doesn't know, is Janelli Z.
Yeah, my little pocket rocket. Yeah.
Is your horse for lifetime?
Yeah. Fences will be bigger than her at that point, but so they're the two things. I'd love to go abroad. That was sorted out last year, but COVID obviously pulled the plug on that one.
We were all going to go abroad, weren't we?
Yeah, that was the year before. Yeah, we were going to go abroad.
And then go across, and COVID stopped all of that. But that will happen. I promise you, that will happen. It will. Yeah,
so those main three, I would say, are in the bucket list still to go.
Well, I think you'll do it. No, I think you'll do it. If you said you didn't think you'd do X, Y, and Z, and you've done it, I think you'll do it.
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot. Just got to keep the horse happy. But
that's all you can do. You can only give it the best you can give it, you know, and that's horses. Like when people go, oh, that was a bad round. But Jill's just said, tell us more about Vogue. All right, Jill, we'll come back to you in a sec. But you question yourself in the past, and you've achieved so much, and you've given it your all. So never say never.
No, and I'm very much on the sort of, I live by the facts. You know, years ago, before I had my own horses and I was on ponies, I was probably a bit of a perfectionist to the point where it stopped me doing things because I wanted everything immaculate before I went out and did anything. Whereas now I'm very much seize the opportunity whilst it's here. You never know what tomorrow will bring. You know, horses don't last forever. So yeah, I'm very lucky now that I will do as much as I possibly can, whilst I'm very lucky to have what I have. So
live every day as if it's your last, because humans
pretty
don't
much,
last forever, so it's the same deal.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. I just don't want to miss out on anything and look back and wish I'd given it a go. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go. Don't live your life in regret. Completely agree.
No.
Right,
Yeah.
so we've got Jill saying, tell us more about Vogue, and then Mum's just popped up going, and Hugo and Dior.
Oh yeah, obviously. So at the moment, I've got 3. Dior he's been with me 9 years. So we did everything together. He's unfortunately retired. So he retired 18 months ago, I think.
He had the injury, didn't he?
Yeah, overnight. Completely injured overnight out of his stable. So that's devastating, but he's still here. So that's good. Yeah, so he went to 130, did all the age classes, you know, jumped hicks, did main ring, scope and everything. But he's quite a character, so I really miss riding him. Hugo's my little chunky stallion, which hopefully you'll see more of this year. Lockdown's been really good for us, so we're getting on really well. So he's 8 or 9 now, licensed with Breeders Elite. Yeah, so he's up to Fox Hunter, so get going with him a little bit more. And then, yeah, we had him as a 2.5-year-old, bought him from a video, as we do with everything, pretty much, a video off of Facebook. And he turned up and it was instant love, I think, for my mum. She literally loves him to death. So I don't think he's going anywhere either. And then Vogue, I've had just over 6 years. So she came over as a rising 4-year-old, again off a 30-second video on Facebook. I think Mum messaged me when I was at work and she said, oh, what do you think of this one? And we actually agreed, which it wasn't always the case. She turned up in the field a couple of days later, I hadn't seen her, and she was meant to be 16.2 and black, and she turned up about 15.1 and bay.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, she was literally like a little show pony. So we were actually quite disappointed with her to start with. So yeah, broke her myself. It was actually quite easy to break, and then we ventured out to shows thinking we nailed it, and she was just wild. I spent literally the first summer on the ground at every show. Too sharp, literally Brits brains. And then as she sort of turned 4 to 5, it literally just clicked overnight.
Oh wow!
And since then, she's yeah, gone from strength to strength.
She's your superstar.
Yeah, I'd literally jump the moon, and she's about 16 pounds, so she's only little.
Is she
never says no. Yeah, it's tiny.
That's what I'm saying. When you watch her, and like when we send this video out, I've got some great bits, but she makes it look so easy. But like I say, it's just so elegant and just
and even to be fair, everyone says, you know, I get messages from people going, you know, how does she feel as a youngster? Did you think there was potential there for the scope she's got? And I always say, to be honest, she never gave me like a big jumping feeling, and to be honest, she doesn't even do that now. She's very clever.
Make it look effortless, I'll be honest.
Yeah, she's very clever. She's very quick. She knows where her legs are. She's very tight. She's got very good technique, and she just absolutely loves her job. You know, she's not the easiest to ride, but I've never known a horse to have so much buzz for it as she does. But yeah, she even jumping like those 165 fences, it feels like I could hit jumping all day. It literally does. I couldn't buy the feeling if I wanted to. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky to have her still, I think.
Yeah, but you both make it look effortless, which is what I think is just amazing. And you know, we all sit down and watch all our professionals. Like, you know, obviously I've been stalking Globals because we've got that really lovely affiliation with the Global Championship Tour, and you just watch the professionals go out and they make it look so easy, but you do it the same. And you know, that's
not what's going around in my head. I'm like, oh my god.
Then that shows you are a true professional. But having that opportunity to come down with, was it Mum I brought, or was it Ben who worked for me? I think it was Ben that worked for me because he did the video. But to come down and have the privilege to watch you, and you know, you're in uniform, you just made it look effortless and easy. It was phenomenal.
All credit to her. She makes it a very, very easy job. But
if it was all credit to her, then you could just get off and just let her do it on her own. It's a partnership. It's a very good partnership.
Yeah,
You should
she's
be very proud of yourself.
yeah, I won't find another one like that. I'm very, very aware of that one. So I know I'm very, very fortunate. So lucky.
So then you need to look, definitely go for your goals, go for those dreams.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
this is your
definitely.
horse of a lifetime, go for it, girl.
Yeah, and she's in her prime now. She's 10. Like I said, I think I'm lucky to actually still have her. You know, a lot of things get sold, but yeah, a lot of people have said to me, you need to cash her in, sell her, buy a house, do all the normal stuff. But no, I'm good as I am.
Well, it's the same as, do you know what, the only other person I can compare your sort of like show jumping at the moment within FE, although we've got quite a few new members that have joined up recently, but it's Charlotte, and Charlotte has Zarina. Zarina's
Yep.
her pony of a lifetime, and she was going to sell her exactly what you just said, buy a house, you know, do all the usual things, and she's kept her. Because you know it's that horse of a lifetime. But you know you were talking to Jeff. It's Otto did the same for him. You know, so it's, you know, you might find another one, but I like the fact that all of you sit down and go, no, this pony or
Yeah,
this whatever is
and she
brilliant.
is you know, she is a pet. She's not just a competition animal. You know, she is my hobby as well as everything else. It's not a business. You know, she doesn't owe me anything. So yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed, she'll be with me for a long time.
Good. So the other thing I'm going to ask you now is, oh, well, go on, no, I've got another question for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Oh,
Chief
what now?
Constable, Kent Police.
No, definitely not. I would like still to be doing it. So I'd be 38 then. So.
Oh, that's so old. I'm 45 this year. Shush.
Yeah. So to be fair, both of them would be 15 if she was still going. I'd like to have a couple of young horses still. I really like producing them. So I'd like to think I'd have still a couple of nice horses to go out and give everyone a run for their money if I can, basically.
I'm sure you would. So have you got future shows other than what you discussed earlier? Is there, like, you know, like you said, you want to do world-class shows? Would you like to? Olympics on the cards?
No. I'd like to go to London.
Yes.
That would be one, but a lot of it, I'd like to do Bowlesworth. That's fingers crossed. Yeah, that's going to hopefully happen this year if I can get entry.
I'll have a chat with Nina. She's on my phone. I'll give Nina a shout.
Yeah, so Bowlesworth is probably up there, just to jump a couple of the Grand Prix. Yeah, and just basically, you know, we just do what we can, when we can. So,
well, it's like with London, with GCT. You know, it would be good to see you get to go there. So I just need to have a chat. Everything ended last year, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yes, that would be nice. It would be nice to get you to pop along there. It'd be nice for the pair of you to get pop along there, to be fair. Because it is, you know, the rules with that is you've got to be able to do a 135 plus course. So which both of you, you know, and it's not saying any other FE member can't do it. They've just got to be able to prove they can do it.
Yeah, you got the record.
I'll have a go, but I've got no proven track record and fall at the first hurdle, which is Jesus. So
that could happen to anyone.
No, but that's generally me. It's just like, I'll do limbo. But yeah, no, that would be cool. That for me, that would be groovy. Yeah, that would. Yeah,
I'd really like to do that one. So like, I try and do a few different shows every year, so I can say I've been to the venues. So yeah, Bowlesworth is one that's still out there for me to go to. Yeah, a lot of it as well. You know, for the likes of us, you know, the entries at those sort of places are massively expensive. So that has a factor in it as well. But I'll just have to sell my soul, basically, to go.
Well, no, FE's coming up with a few plans this year, which after our meeting on Friday, hopefully we'll have some interesting things coming up, because we've got a good couple of new fantastic sponsors that have approached us. We haven't gone, please. So we've got those to announce beginning of April. So never say never. I know where you're going to go with this one, but my next question is, tell us about the people behind the scenes, and you better be quick because you'll pipe up, who support you every day, whether it's in person, which I know she's not anymore, but I know this person's going to pop up.
Okay. So obviously my mum, I'd have to say her first. You know, she's the one that started it all to start with. You know, she's very lucky. She's as a joint thing, we've sourced the horses together, so we're very proud of what we've done to, you know, the pair. she owns Hugo and supports me with him. So yeah, so without her, I couldn't financially run the ones I've got. So yeah, obviously her. My other half, very understanding. You know, I'm not here a lot, 3 shifts and shows.
Yeah.
It seems to be actually, when he comes to a show, he's my good luck charm. So you might have to come away more often.
Well, when he comes to a Feg show, we'll just treat him. He can have a night off and just have a laugh.
He's actually, you know, he came to his first stay away in October, and he is actually a really good groom. So yeah, he can come along more often. And I think it was nice for him to see it actually in action as well, rather than just the hours at home that go into it.
Yeah.
And then I've got my sponsors, who I'm very, very lucky to have.
Who are your sponsors? Tell us about your sponsors.
Yeah, we've got Erica, which is EL Equine Osteo. She's an osteopath for equestrians and people, horses, and greyhounds in the southeast.
Yep.
So she's been supporting me for 2 years.
Where does she cover? Is it the whole of Kent or the whole of the
southeast?
Oh,
yeah.
Brilliant.
So she's been with me for 2 years. So she comes out and treats the horses, which is really, really important, especially with Vogue. You know, she is a very buzzy, busy mare. So she needs all the help she can get to keep nice and supple. So I'll see her Monday, actually. She's coming out Monday. So she's been a great, great help. We've got Max Gut Health, which is a gut supplement. With all natural products, and again, Vogue, she had a spout of ulcers during lockdown, so that's how that began. So they've been really, really supportive. So they're quite new to the team in that sense. We've got Proline, which is a new brand of clothing that do casual clothing for like base layers and leggings for everyday riding. So we've been having conversations with them, so that's been really new. So I've been trying some of their stuff out. That's really good. We've got a local company called the Rug Works, which is thankfully keep me in rugs repaired, cleaned, because Dior is known for destroying everything that he has on. So yeah, Nikki runs that at the Rug Works, which really help. You know, it's all the stuff that for me, you know, it's such a financial massive hurdle just keeping them and going to shows. All these extras are just things that I'd like to be able to do myself, but get a little bit pushed to the back. So Nikki's been really supportive, so we should have a really good season. Her son Will does a lot of international show jumping, so hopefully we'll get out together.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then we've got Equistore, which is an online equestrian company that sell top brands of everything you can think of. So yeah, hopefully I'll be all kitted out, ready to go for them as well.
Looking pristine.
Yeah, hopefully. So basically it's just trying to keep them all, like, basically fly the flag and make sure they're proud of what we're doing, really, I would say.
Tell them all to send us some info through, and on our next newsletter we will flag it out, because the plan is at the end of what we're on now. So at the end of this month, I want to send out links to all the videos of our members that we've spoken to, and just who you recommend, which are the people that look after you. And I just think it's our guys always follow recommendations.
Yeah, and I always just think they can sponsor anyone, you know. So we're very lucky that they choose to sponsor us.
Not even a sponsor, just share the wealth about their products. You know,
but I mean, you know, we're very lucky that they've picked us in that sense. Yeah, so they've all been really, really helpful. So they keep the team on the road, you know, looking and performing well. Well, hopefully when we get out.
Oh, you'll be fine.
So a little bit anxious about that, actually.
I think we all are.
I know. See what the horses do.
Well, I keep boring everyone saying I'm not seeing my horse since the first week of October, but he's in very good hands with another FE member who's my friend. But even me, I sort of sit here sometimes going, I'm quite happy in lockdown. That's not normal. I do need to get out.
It's even like with the entries, you know, we're having to pre-enter quite far in advance, but not knowing how the horses are going to be going. So that's what I mean. I've entered classes that I'm like, oh, I'm not quite sure. But we'll wing it when we get there.
Are you going to go somewhere locally just to see how it goes, and then you go for those big things?
Yeah.
Or are you just go for the big things, because you know you can do it? You do. I've seen you. I've got video evidence.
Yeah. So I've got I normally go local training with a friend of mine. So we've got that planned for the first week as we're allowed out, just to see where we are. Then I've got a couple of day shows, just sort of locally, that within like 2 hours, and then first stay away literally the week after that. So that's Dallas Burton, which is another new venue for me, but apparently it's really, really nice.
Dallas Burton?
Yeah. So it's Warwickshire?
Yeah. Sort of the same, well, yeah, a bit south of me, but across the country. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so even with that, I mean,
local up.
yeah, I even looked at it. Yeah, it's got a really nice venue, really nice like gallery and everything. So that looks really, really cool. But even looking at that, you know, I looked at the schedule and
Emma
didn't really know
Jones
what.
said it's lovely there. Your ex-roomie said it's lovely there.
Yeah,
You can
everyone
trust her.
raves about it. Yeah, so tick that one off the list. But yeah, I've entered some big classes there. Whether I do them or not, I'm not sure. But I'll see how it goes on the first day.
Hello, so we've got Strisley. Hi, first time joiner. Do we send comments, questions, question mark? Just put them in the add comments and poor old Philippa will answer them.
I'll try my best.
Because I'll make her.
Yeah, I'll try.
It will be good to get out. Yeah, I think for me it would be, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing something, even if I just go out and do them out a bit. It would just be, yeah, it'd be good to ride again, to be fair.
Yeah, and even
not sat on a horse
with
since October.
oh no, I jumped the other day and I actually felt quite rusty. I think the horses were all right. I think it was more me, but
no, it is a strange one. It is a strange
yeah.
one.
And then I've got I had a letter through for an operation in April, and I'm thinking I'm going to cancel it because the shows take priority. So hopefully that won't hold me back either. So
Well, I've just realised it's CI. You'll probably know what that means. Leslie
Mhm.
Wheatley that just went. It's
Yeah.
Wheatley woman. Come on then, Leslie. Tell us what you want to say. She's never
Are you
normally this quiet in the comments box. But even down to hair, I can't. Like we've just been told the other day, British Dressage Associated Champs. I know you're not dressage. Is you know coming back on the 2nd of September. I can't wait till the 1st and 2nd of September, and the evening performance that they're putting together is going to be slightly different, but slightly mad, but good fun.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the first fake back, because to be fair, it'd be 23 months since I've seen any of you.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's
Yep.
mad.
October
Yeah,
2019.
Yeah, was it Windsor? Or did I see you after that?
No, Windsor was
When we had lunch in the tent.
what?
We had lunch in the tent. Was that the last time?
Yeah, that was Windsor, because you didn't
Yeah.
come to Feg Arena, did you?
No.
No. So yeah, last time I saw you was May 2019 in the flesh.
Yeah, mad, isn't it?
But the rest of the FE years, it'll be October 2019. So that's a long time. So as Graham Matthews has renamed it, we're going to be called FFEG, and the F stands for fun.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Lots of cheering and lots of nail biting and things like that.
It'll be good. It'll be good fun. But Leslie's just come up going, I've never been on an online thing. Just checking the procedure, catching up on the chat. So you're welcome, Leslie. You know, she's full of chat. Hi. So I suppose my last question for you, so you can actually go down and enjoy your Tuesday night and maybe catch up with EastEnders. It's looking odd. Why would you advise anyone to join Forces Equine?
I don't honestly know why you wouldn't, if that makes sense. I really like it because it's no pressure whatsoever. You know, everyone's just, unfortunately, our sport isn't always positive and encouraging to each other, I think anyway. And I just think that everyone that you turn up at these events, they're just so friendly. You know, it's a completely different atmosphere to what you get at any other sort of BS show for me. I don't know what dressage is like. And like I said, everyone's just really friendly. Like literally, like you feel like you've known them for ages. You know, like even when we went out on the evenings out, you know, you've just got everything in common. I think they just get it that, you know, you do the horses for your downtime and not to take yourself, you know, as much as I do it at a decent level, try not to do it, like take myself too seriously. So I think we've all just got that in common, that we do have stressful lives, and it takes a lot for us to get to these events, you know, leave and shifts and things like that. So I think it's just all a bit of a common ground, really, where we can just enjoy what we do and enjoy our horses.
Well, that's exactly what Leslie said. He popped up, and that's just piped into my head. I got some statements which you did, you know, sent me to put on the front page of Forces Equine on the website, and she said the same. You know, people just get my job, and they get what I want to do with my horses, and I think that's such an important ethos. And you know, there's so many opportunities out there that you can get involved in with us, but there is no pressure. And you know, like you could go out, you know, like when you went to Always. and you didn't win, but we were just so proud of you. You went to Oys, girl, you know, and that's amazing. And we just, I think the one thing I'm so proud of all of you at is you balance this really mad full-time job. And I don't mean mad, horrible, just it is full on. You go off and you think people normally do an 8-hour shift. And you could end up doing a 12-hour shift because you've got paperwork. It could be 14 hours.
Yeah,
then you go home and try and get a bit of kit in your tack room an hour, and then go off and do what, you know, your passion is. That's admirable. That, you know.
I just think, you know, like the horses are my release. You know, like I remember, for instance, Hoys I went to on a Monday. I had the most horrific shift of my career on the Saturday, and then within 36 hours, I was trucking into Hoys, and it was completely, my shift was at the back of my mind. I had something else to focus on, and it just felt like I had two different worlds, basically. And I was just a mile away from where I was, you know, 36 hours before, dealing with something really awful. And I think, it's just, I think it is good, you know, it's positive, it's fun, it gets you away from thinking about all those traumatic things you deal with. Like I said, I walk around like a zombie half the time, but I try and balance it as best I can, I would say.
Well, it's what Leslie's just said. For those of us that walk that border of professionals and amateurs, falling a bit short of each camp, there was a brilliant quote from Steph Croxford on Facebook last night. I'm just popping off. I'm not sure if she's popping off the scale, but she just said she's going to copy and paste it in 2 minutes. But no, it's true. And you had those 3 mad birds in the corner going, yay, go. But no, I think that's the thing. It's that whole doing my job, doing my life, and this is what I do for a living, which you love. And I've spoken to lots of you, and you do love your jobs. But then getting away. I
can't imagine doing anything else. No.
This is the thing. I've spoken to loads of you. It's like, are you going to be a professional? Not I'm telling you to leave your job. No, I love my job. But then this is where you all amaze me, especially at this level. It's like you're against professionals that is their job.
Yeah, it is a difficult, like you say, it's a funny line. Like, I am an amateur, completely amateur. You know, the horses weren't broken, or I've been self-taught. I haven't been trained by anyone apart from my mum. So in that sense, we are like everybody else. And then we go in. Charlotte probably gets it. We go into these rings, and you are the nobody, and you are the underdog. But in that sense, we just love being in there.
Yeah, but it's like Joe Williams that's popping up. It was Daisy, is her daughter.
Yeah, I watched that one the other day.
Yeah, and you know, like you look at Daisy. Daisy went to Hoys. It was her 14th birthday, but she's not going to get there on her own. She can't hack. So mum and dad do it, but mum's a full-time paramedic, and dad's ex-Air Force and got his own full-time career. And then she goes out to. That's where you've all got to go. Wow, look at us. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, with Hoys, you know, I drove up there with my friend that used to come to shows with me, and then mum came up with her partner, and then my friends surprised me when I got there, and they said, you didn't think we were going to let you do this on your own, did you? And I was like, oh no, that's true. So it's nice that you have those sort of, you know, genuine, true friends behind you that genuinely want you to do well. You know, we all work really, really hard. I know it's the same for everyone, but we work really, really hard, and the good moments are few and far between. You know, there is a lot of hard work behind it from everyone, and you sacrifice a lot. So those special moments mean even more, really.
Well, I think you should be very proud of yourself. I think you should be very proud of your support team. We all thank you for what you do on a daily basis, and we all thank you. Well, I'm very proud of you being an FE member, and I can't wait to see you in person this year. It's been too long.
I know. I don't actually know, when is it going to be? Is it going to be Feb, or is it going to be before then?
Well, it depends where you tell me I can rock up, but I mean, like, winter would be good.
Winter, hopefully, yeah. Fingers crossed if we can get in.
Winter would be good. I need to have a chat with a few of my policey friends of whether they're doing services team jumping. If they are, let's go for it, which was our plan 2 years ago, well, last year. If not, it depends where you guys are going to be. It could be Global's going ahead. It could be what we're going to. I think we're all going to try and go to Hickstead in September or July.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, FEG is what I'm working on behind the scenes with a great band of merry men. But yeah, no, obviously, if there's an option for us to come out and I'll bring the old one, Jan, I'll be there. I'll be there flying that flag,
With banners and all.
become...
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And they'll be like, who are these people?
When you said you put your entries in the other day, I was like, Chief Cheerleader, I'm coming.
Yeah, I think we'll all be chomping at the bit to get out, won't we? Be like caged animals.
Any of the shows you go to where you feel comfortable, wear that uniform. They're so proud of you. Do it.
Yeah.
Because
I know.
They love it.
Yeah, it is a strange feeling, you know. I hadn't done it before, FE. I don't know why, but it's very rare you see somebody like that. You see a little bit more of the army, I would say. You see a little bit more of them, but the police force in general, I don't. Apart from obviously FE, I haven't seen anyone.
They do Royal Windsor and Royal Tournament, but when Royal Tournament is Earls Court, that's now up at DAC. But Royal Windsor, there's Avon and Somerset come out, South Yorks, West Mids, TVP. There's a few of these teams that come out, but the British public are so proud of what you guys do, and it just goes down so well, and you should be proud. And you know, no matter what level you're at, they just love seeing you.
Going there, fist pumping.
100%. You know, most of our police, we've got little nicknames for. We've got, was it PC Air Punch, who's down in Avon and Somerset, and PC Pins. We won't mention his surnames. But no, they are proud, and you know, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling, and it's funny. I listened to Charlotte go around the Hickstick Derby the other day, and there was a lady there saying, "It's great to see someone out in uniform. Oh, you only normally see it with the Italian, you know, military."
Yeah, military. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it's they're loving it. Keep doing it.
Yeah.
No.
I will try my best. Keep flying the flag.
You can only do your best, and we're proud of you, whatever your best is. You know, we all have good and bad days, but you know, it's a pleasure watching you, and it's an honour that you're part of FE, and we hope you remain part of FE a lot longer. And I look forward to seeing you again.
Definitely. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think she's coming to Bicton. Sometimes she came up for Windsor. So she does try and get up for that one because that's quite special, Windsor. She was more amazed that she saw the Queen last time.
The Queen, oh God, no, I was with you, and she said,
"Yeah,
there's a Queen."
Yeah, I know. She was with her camera, like a proper, trying to get a selfie with the Queen. I was like, oh God. So she does like to come to Windsor, so potentially she'll be there. Yeah.
Oh no, well, it'd be good to, personally, on my own personal thing, being selfish, it'd be good to catch up with you all. It's been a long time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, have a good drink.
Keep the post coming. Keep us all updated. I love seeing it all, and can't wait to see you all in person.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh no, thank you very much for sparing the time to talk to us tonight. I'll let you go put your feet up. It's 8 o'clock.
Okay.
You take good care, and I'll speak to you soon, mate.
I'll speak to you soon. Yeah, see you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye, love.
Bye.
Bye.